All right, y'all, how are we doing? Welcome on into episode, God knows, of of the Real Ones podcast. This is the 9th interview I have done for the Real Ones podcast, and this time we have a very special treat for you. Willie the Kid, Grand Rapids, Michigan rapper, will be joining us, and I've just sent him a direct message. We're just waiting for him to hop on right now. I can tell y'all about the podcast in the meantime. Basically, this has just been an opportunity for me to interview artists and plug people on, put people onto new music while the pandemic has been going on. It's been very difficult because a lot of what I was doing was covering live shows in the past. So I think that this has been a way for me to kind of like channel that and still connect with artists, which, I've always appreciated that type of thing. And during a pandemic, it's not the easiest, but we've been doing a lot of stuff with just folks back wherever they live. And I've also conducted a couple in-person interviews as well. It's been a pretty good time. And so I'll give 5 song recommendations at the top of the show. You plug some cherries, and then I will interview my guest. And so Willie the Kid is here right now. He has joined. I give him a wave, and now we are going to accept that request to be in the live. Here we go. And Brandon is in the building as well.
Yo.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, all right, man. What's going on? How you?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Good, man.
We be busy, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And really glad that you're joining us. And that beanie is pretty fresh, I gotta say.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I ordered one of those in blue.
Yeah.
It shipped way back to my house, but that was back in April. I have no idea where it is now.
Man, it's that time of year. I love
Right.
it when the weather's like this because I can just layer up and work hard the whole season. And I get almost every day.
Yeah,
Sure.
I could pull off the orange, to be honest, just because I got that red hair already.
Yeah, for sure. It's complimentary. For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, just how have the last couple of weeks been for you? Just I see all this news that the pandemic is worsening, and I just wonder how you're holding up through all of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's being cautious and everything health wise, you know what I'm saying, and keeping the family prioritized and moving the right way. But in terms of business, the things that I'm involved in day to day are ultimately recession proof, pandemic proof, you know what I mean? Whether it's music, more people are at home streaming songs and streaming, all the new projects that are coming out. So that's working in our favor. And then as far as Motu Viget, I mean, we have a full-fledged craft spirits line. So, of course, people are engaging in champagne and spirits right now. So, the things we do day to day, I mean, it's all lifestyle driven, So there's opportunity for us to keep doing what we're doing. But I'm definitely keeping safety and health and, and family first through all these troubling times.
Right. So with all of these business ventures, I mean, this is not necessarily something that every rapper gets involved with. I just wonder where this ended up. How did you end up going in this direction and how you wanted to, sort of make money? What kind of education did you have that led you into starting up with these investments and branching out?
For sure. It was always my plan to do this because ultimately, I went to school, went to college, and got a degree in communications, and I went and got an MBA, in marketing. So I always knew I wanted to be a person that was behind brands, building the equity in brands, selling those brands. I always wanted to be involved in business in some capacity. The first thing I did with my music money, when I first got my deal, I was a bit younger, but I started investing immediately and doing startups. I call myself a startup entrepreneur because I build things from the ground up and let them get their own traction, give people opportunities, give jobs, get the equity rolling, and then eventually I might sell it or pivot or expand in some sort of fashion. But I took all my rap money and started doing business immediately, because I knew You know, you can't be the hottest rapper forever. You know, not that that was even my goal. My goal was always to just be a sustainable entertainer, to be here, the longevity. I've been here for different eras through this music. When I came in, it was the ringtone era, and then it switched over to the blog era, and then now it's the streaming era, and I'm still here and I'm still active. You know what I mean? So that was always my plan, to always make sure I was using business, you know, as the platform for everything that I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel you. And when you have that, when you have that initial money that comes from signing a deal, you know, people aren't always sure what to do with that. Sometimes that's
Yeah.
the most money people have ever seen in their lives. So definitely had a good plan.
It's
And
all capital. That's why we call the project Capital Gains, because
yeah,
it's
go
all
ahead.
about capital. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Taking the capital and doing something much more with it, you know?
Yeah, and so coming on to it, adding on to that, the latest project, you know, Capital Gains, as you just alluded to, what would you say one of the tracks that you're most proud of on there?
It depends on the day, man. I like them all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just even talking about the album, you know, puts a smile on my face. I'm really proud of the project. So really dope body of work. It just depends on the day. You know, like on a night like tonight, I might be listening to Durban Poison, me and Roc Marciano. When I get up in the morning, I'm getting pumped, ready to start my day. I might want to play Egregious. You know what I'm saying? It just depends what the vibe is. Later on tonight, I might, you know, go get some dinner. On my way home, I might want to listen to Breakfast Nook, me and Ito. So, you know, it just depends on what's going on at the time, you know?
Yeah. Do you find yourself listening to your own shit a lot?
Only when I'm creating it, and then I step away from it, and then we put it out, and I go revisit it once it's out, because it sounds different when you're making it than it does when it's actually out and you're getting a response from the people. I go back and listen, because I want to join the wave as well. I want to join the fans and the listeners too. I want to hear it how they hearing it. When I heard all these songs, no one had heard them already. So I'm looking at it from a critical standpoint. But once it's out and it's streamed and everybody listening to it, now I want to go hear how it sounds when everybody else is enjoying it. So I listen to them when I'm making them, and then maybe once they come out. But after that, on to the next one, you know?
Yeah. I think you know, you alluded to the Roc Marciano track on there, and you have a long history of collaborating with him.
Yeah.
One of the honestly, in my opinion, and I've talked about this on the show because this has been kind of a recurring thing. We've had a bunch of just kind of folks from the Griselda kind of era of hip hop kind of
Yeah.
really being pushed towards the mainstream. I think Roc Marciano is probably one of the best MCs out right now, period.
For
And
sure.
so I'd love to know what it's like creating with him. I think his lyricism is just unbelievable, and I've never heard a flow like that before in my life. So
For sure. For
about that.
sure. Just about longevity, I think he's just another artist that you know, found himself um ushering in this quote unquote new sound, and just like myself, just stuck to that. You know what I'm saying, and put that in the forefront and pushed it through. You know what I mean? I pioneered personally, put my hand on this new wave, this era you're talking about. You know, I'm the guy, if not one of the guys at least, who stuck by this sound and pushed this sound relentless until it got sort of credibility that it has today. So I tip my hat to Roc for doing the same thing.
Yeah, and so we've seen that in the manifestation of how popular Benny, Conway, and Westside Gunn have been. And
Hmm.
what words do you have on the success that they've been having? And I didn't and
It's
you can,
great.
of course, there's a lot of credit that goes to you and Roc
Yeah,
for
yeah.
ushering in that new era. But
It lets me know that like if you build it, they'll come. You know what I'm saying? And I always believed in that. And it's good to see other people who got that same kind of ethos, those same kind of, you know, that motivation, like, you know, to keep pushing it forward. You know, we'll build it and then they'll come. You know what I'm saying? They'll come check us out. It's not easy because we're not chasing sounds, we're not chasing trends. We're building the sound, we're building the trend. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Griselda and everybody who's standing by their art.
yeah,
Definitely.
and you know that's very interesting because it's hip hop has gone into completely different directions, it seems, because you
Hmm.
have a lot of stuff that's been on, say, XXL or going into like radio play. I think it's just starting to lack substance, and then there's this whole completely other different lane that's still, you know, staying true
Yeah.
like the original, you know,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
and contemplation, making you think.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
So there's this new track you came out with. with Waldo and Sango, so you had that
Yeah,
Grand Rapids connection. And
yeah, for
not a
sure.
collab I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
kind of expecting. I think y'all are a bit stylistically different, but I had actually talked to him earlier in the year, you know, back when there were still tours and stuff. So he'd come
Yeah,
to
yeah.
I interviewed him for a bit, but had you had a connection with him in place, and so how did that track kind of come together?
Yeah, you know, we from the town, we from Grand Rapids. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I've been pushing Grand Rapids as a brand, you know, my whole career. I eventually went out and, you know, me and my partner Jonathan Jelks and started a merchandising line called GRUSA that actually brands the city, you know, in the forefront in the way of merchandise. We actually got deals with the CBA, or to just continue a basketball league. We got deals with the city itself, working with the mayor and working on different platforms to create merchandise with the public school system and pretty much branded Grand Rapids. So, you know, I tip my hat and applaud myself and pat myself on the back for being, you know, the bearer of the torch to light the way for Grand Rapids. You know what I'm saying? For art and business and otherwise. You know what I'm saying? So linking up with Sango and linking up with Waldo, those are my guys from my town, and they contribute in their own way to, you know, keeping the light on for Grand Rapids. So it's only right that we collaborate and do something organic for the town. You know, big shout out to AGL.
For sure, for sure. And you know, it definitely seems like you have you have this passion for pushing forward the city is kind of somewhere to be. Waldo was also talking about just making the city a hub for other artists to
For
want to
sure.
create. So
For sure.
is there any sort of studio infrastructure or anything that you're trying to set up in that particular way? Or is it just kind
Eventually,
of,
see the things I do in Grand Rapids, I want to be business driven. You know what I'm saying? I want people to be able to make money. I want to be able to give people jobs and give people, you know, freedom. And that comes from financial literacy. It comes from ownership. It comes from these things that will still be here to sustain us and sustain our families, even when they don't play our music anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the music gonna be easy. I'm gonna always have a light on somewhere for other artists to collaborate and do things musically, even if it's indirect. What I do every day, what I've been doing for the last 20 years, I've tilled the land. I've laid down the platform and the framework for any artist coming out of Grand Rapids to be recognized. When I first started making music, like on a professional level, like publishing music, they didn't even know where Grand Rapids was at. Like nobody knew. They was just calling it Detroit still. And it's before anybody from out the city was, you know, paving, you know, getting out there and trying to make their tracks. I was paving the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always, always, always reach out and open doors and have opportunities for other artists coming out of my city to get busy. That's always.
do you see yourself as kind of fulfilling a mentor type role in that sense as you get older?
I
You know,
think so. I mean, it's crazy because I be home sometime and I see the younger guys, they come up, they big bro, big homie, you know, they talking to me like that OG's done the third, you know. So it's kind of funny because I never thought of myself in that position. I just go do the work. But when I see the young guys, I'm inspired by them just as much as I probably inspire them. But when they say big bro, big, you know, what's up, big homie, they talking to me like that. Okay, well I guess so. You know what I'm saying? Well, nothing I asked for, but you know, it's kind of the position I gotta assume from the work that I've been doing for so long, you know?
your discography goes way back, and you were somebody who was, you know, heavily featured. You were all over the original DJ Drama Gangsta Grills album.
Yeah.
I would love to just that's one of those situations where as that's being recorded, you'd just love to be a fly on the wall and you were actually there. So
Yeah,
take
man.
your role in that process and you know any stories or anecdotes you might have to share on that.
It was Drama's turn, man. You know what I'm saying? It was time for him to, you know, go out and let his story be heard. Because, you know, essentially what he did as far as the raid, you know, for the mixtapes and everything, it brought a lot of attention our way. And it put this whole dynamic of the business and the impact of the business of mixtapes into the forefront. You know what I'm saying? So this album came out as a response to that. We kind of got real notorious from that. We kind of made a lot of treads in different places where we wouldn't have probably done it before without it. It brought the whole conversation about what is a mixtape, what's legal, what's not legal. It brought that whole conversation to the forefront, something that we've been doing culturally for a very long time. A lot of our favorite artists come from the mixtape space. So to do that, so to do the album was like almost a celebration. You know what I'm saying? For how crazy that time was during the raid and the backlash that we caught from it. You know, Drama and my team, we ended up being like the face, you know what I'm saying, of branding the mixtape as this mainstream concept that the culture now has to impose on the mainstream to accept. You know what I'm saying? So the album was basically just a response to that. It was a celebratory album.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the mixtape era is something that I think you can definitely categorize as coming from that particular like early 2000s
Yeah.
when people would actually kind of and I think like the most recent mixtape that I can really think of that's just like an honest to God, like, you know, sample everything and this is more like brought into the mainstream, but Smino had She Already Decided. That was this guy from St. Louis, and he just ripped every single beat for that album. So that's like
Yeah.
that into the into two in
Even the whole
2020.
concept of what the mixtapes are was transformed, you know? Like you start seeing guys make totally original music, like an album, and just call it a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole definition of what a mixtape is. There was a whole revolution that impacted what we've been doing for a very long time. So, you know, definitely another area I got to tip your hat to. It's a great era.
Yeah. No, I got Big Bill in the chat, who's somebody I interviewed a couple
Yo, shout out to Big
back.
Bill.
Yeah, he liked that album. Yeah, he's coming up. He's in Chicago, so
Oh,
yeah,
for
keep an
sure.
eye.
Oh yeah, Chicago. You know, that's my one of my second homes, man. Chicago for
Man,
sure.
it's
Shout out
the
to the shot.
Midwest.
Yeah.
It's the Midwest all together.
All together, baby. You know.
So we got a question. This was written by Brandon initially, but
For sure.
he was talking about the sort of the role of capitalism that was playing in on capital gains. So
Yeah.
what is your commentary of the capitalism that is seen in America on the LP, and do you think that capitalism is the long-term answer to economic to like the economic plights of folks in the Black community and folks you know, your people as well,
Yeah,
people in the
for
music
sure. It's a gateway, you know. It's a gateway to free ourselves of everything else that's going on out here. It's an answer for sure. I preach everybody, man. Financial literacy is important. How to make money and what to do with it once you get it. How to be on the right side of the dollar. Things of that nature. Those are the things that'll liberate us even before the government will. You know, can't wait on the government to rescue you. Can't wait on even entertainment to rescue you. You know what I'm saying? It's about what you do with the capital you make from entertainment, the capital that you make from your job or whatever it is you do, your career, whatever it is you do, the way we manage our resources, the way we pool our resources, you know, the way that we identify with opportunities in the markets that we want to get involved in. Those are things that's going to save us. It's going to rescue us. You know, that's called self-help. So imparting that concept on capital gains pretty much came from what's going on right now. If you look at what happened back in the 80s with the stock market crashing and the impact of that, and how the real estate market crashed back in like 2008, 2009, the impact of that, it made crime go up, it made unemployment go up, it made all these things impact, you know, the society that we live in today. So when the pandemic hit, its impact on the economy kind of mirrored those things I'm talking about that happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the middle of all these things. I'm growing businesses. Again, I'm a startup entrepreneur. So the things I got going on have to respond to what's happening, you know what I'm saying, in the economy. And straight up and down, I thought it was very appropriate to mirror what happened in the past to what's going on right now. That's why all the capital gains promo was all from the 80s, stock market footage and things of that nature, news coverage and stuff like that, because that's exactly what's happening right now. Like the history repeating itself. But it don't matter how many times it repeats, the solutions are still the same. Financial literacy, ownership, empowerment. You know what I'm saying? These are all the things that rescue us no matter what, if you ask me.
Yeah. And of course, you know, you are somebody who's definitely trying to instill that into younger generations, it seems. But do you think what do you see as being a way that people can educate themselves on financial processes just in their own lives?
Man, you know we live in the information era right now. Anything you don't know is your fault. Anything you have no knowledge about is totally your fault. The internet is full of anything you want to know about. Or just be inquisitive and ask questions. And I remember an interview I saw LL Cool J. This is years ago. And somebody asked him in an interview, they say, yo, LL, you've been in the game since the early 80s and you're a GOAT, you're an icon of hip hop. He said, what do the young rappers ask you about when you run into the young rappers? And LL said, you know what? They don't ask me anything. And I thought about that, like, damn, like we have access to so much information. We have access to resources, but we're not doing all that we can do to extract the information we need. We can't be victims of circumstances. You know what I'm saying? We have to equip and weaponize ourselves with whatever it is we need to come out here and face this world. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I recommend everybody do your research. Discover what moves you. Where are your passions? And I'm pretty sure there's an income line somewhere under or around or beneath your passions, you know?
Real talk. I think kind of pivoting off of music for a second. You've been on as this as a producer for the Langston Hughes documentary piece on. Yes. So what made you want to get involved in telling that story?
My man Jonathan Jelks' father is on a board down at the University of Kansas, and he works with scholars, particularly the official biographer for Langston Hughes, who has access to his life records and things of that nature. They're putting a project together, and they wanted to get younger people involved to sort of push this story and make it more for the hip-hop generation. And me knowing what I know about Langston Hughes, he's actually in my take, he's the original rapper. He's the original poet that talked about the African-American experience and got paid for it. He's the original rapper. He's the face of the Harlem Renaissance. He's the voice of our experience here in America through poetry. You know what I'm saying? So somebody presenting an opportunity like that to me, it's a no-brainer. I'm jumping down immediately. You know, I think his story and his contributions and what he did and when he did it, you know what I mean, is very important to where the culture is headed right now. So I had to get involved.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. And we got Rich Jones here on the call as well. He had people from prior interviews are coming on to this.
Yeah. That's dope, man. You got the following. Yeah, retention, man. You know what I'm saying? Retention.
It's all about
sustainable listeners, sustainable viewers, man. That's good. That's good. Right. Somebody said Capital Gains on vinyl. Yeah, it's coming soon, man. Shop, get on down. Nudge them. I can't wait to see the Capital Gains vinyl. I'm waiting for it too. It's on the way.
Man, I'm hoping on a vinyl player for the holidays, something like that. I don't.
It'd be by the holidays. CDs too. And look out, we dropping Deutschmarks too. You know, me and VDon. You know what I'm saying? Owner's manuals, crazy. Yeah. Thursday, Friday the 27th. We not this weekend, but the next after that. You're gonna see us.
That's gonna be Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, we got a
Black Friday.
More. Sorry. Yeah, for sure. So, this is what are you going for on this follow-up project that's dropping on the 27th? I just saw the visual come out, but what can we expect?
Deutschmarks 2? Yeah. It's mature. You know what I mean? It's real mature. It's advanced. It's reflective. Sonically, it's beautiful. I think VDon, he wove a quilt, man. It's like a beautiful hand-woven quilt. It's the experience of listening to it is great. You know what I mean? Just if you have it playing in the car, playing at home, playing in your AirPods or whatever, like just to sit and just listen to it. It's real satisfying to hear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It sounds good. It feels good to listen to it. You know, the tones, the moments, the transitions, the things I'm talking about, and the way it's woven together. It's an experience, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it. It's probably one of the more polished and advanced projects that we put out, me and VDon. You know what I'm saying? It's real mature. You know what I'm saying? It's forward-facing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you know what I mean? It feels good to listen to it. It's real rewarding to sit back and check it out. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're a fan of what we do and you've been following what we've been doing, you're going to really like this one.
You know, I think it's so important that artists are able to, you know, hype up their own music, because if not, you know, why are you even releasing it? Like,
it's easy to do. It's not even hype, yo, because I'm probably the biggest critic. You know what I'm saying? So if I like it, I know it's great. You know what I'm saying? I know it, and I don't put out anything that I'm not 100% proud of. If it's anything I'm questioning, you guys will probably never hear it. If it don't put like chills on my arm when I listen to it, like if I don't get like, oh my gosh, and it don't blow my mind, you guys will probably never hear it. You know what I'm saying? Everything I put out it's been verified and certified and reviewed and checked, and trust me, you know, my standard of quality is way up here. You know what I'm saying? Way up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
even the shit I throw away is better than some of the shit you might hear. You know what I'm saying? My throwaways is A1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I'm guessing you must have just reserves on reserves on reserves of music.
Oh yeah, we always cooking up. I got a lot of music, but the things you hear for the projects are focused projects. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
might pull one song here, pull one song there, pull a beat here, pull a beat there, but all my projects are concentrated, focused projects. There's nothing just loose and out of place. That's why Capital Gains is so great. It's a concise piece of work. Nothing's out of place. There's nothing that we can afford to lose, and it doesn't need anything else either. You know what I'm saying? It's a real tight and concise piece of work. I always operate in that type of way. Same thing with Deutsche Marks too. When it come out, you're gonna say, okay, yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah, you've had your fair share of amazing producers that you've worked with. You know, mentioning Alchemist, obviously a huge legend right now.
Yeah.
VDon, as you've mentioned, you have a strong rapport with him, as well as the producer of that one project. I don't know what I'm picking up. It wasn't Gold Rush 2, it was the other golden one. Who would be one of your favorites that you've worked with, or that you've had a really good relationship?
I think the phone was breaking up. It said, "Who's my favorite producer I work with?"
Yeah,
I
wait
think it's
one
breaking
second.
up, boy. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna try and get it back. I think I'm frozen right now. All right, you here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my bad. Yeah, we've been having some connection shit recently, but yeah,
No
it's,
worries, man.
we got but in terms of favorite producers you worked with, just that you've had like a really good synergy with, who would you say?
Yeah, VDon. I
VDon.
mean, you can listen to Deutsche Marks. You can listen to Blue Notes, Heather Gray, Deutsche Marks 2 about to come out. I mean, there's almost a VDon beat on every album I put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, VDon is on Aquamarine way back, 2013. You know what I'm saying? VDon is on The Cure. Like, The Cure 2, he's on that mixtape. He's on The Fly 2. Like, I've been working with VDon, almost 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? Just putting out crazy material. So, me and VDon's automatic. That's my guy.
Yeah, appreciate how you've been really dropping gems this whole interview. We're gonna try to wrap this up in a bit. And sorry again for the connections. You gotta fucking pay your
That's
fucking
all
bill.
good, man.
Yeah, okay. Landlords agree.
They gonna troll you, bro. You know that.
So basically, we got one more question. This is kind of like wrapping all of this up. When it's all said and done, what are you ultimately trying to do? What is your ultimate goal? Like when
I'm
you
doing
like
it.
let me think, let me say like, oh, if you're retired, you've done everything you can. What do you want to have done, and what do you want to have accomplished?
I'm doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Reverence. You know what I'm saying? I want to be revered. You know what I'm saying? As a true artist, as a true businessman, as a real man. As a father, as a brother. You know what I'm saying? Respect. You know what I'm saying? Just being revered to operate at the highest level, no matter what I contribute. Somebody that people can rely on to always, you know what I'm saying, present some quality. And then that, by default, will push the culture forward. It'll push our people forward. It'll push the youth forward. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make my mark as being the best at what it is I do. You know what I'm saying? And make sure I'm contributing something to the bigger picture.
Yeah, and right now, anything you would like to add that you had covered before, but just gonna give you the floor, give some quick plugs, whatever you want to sound off on.
Yeah, just follow all of the moves, man. You know what I'm saying? Motu_Viget, MOTU_VIGET. Craft Spirits Company. We have our products in 200 locations throughout the Midwest. Recently just signed a deal with Meyer. If you know anything about the Midwest, Meyer is like the biggest Fortune 500 grocer in the entire region. We're in 60 plus locations right now. It's an epic deal for a small startup, African American owned craft spirits brand. So we're really celebrating that right now. You know what I'm saying? And keep looking out for the new music because we got a few more. I kind of wanted to get one more album out before the year is out. I'm gonna see what I can do. Maybe put one more out right after Deutsche Marks 2 for December. But yeah, just keep following the moves, man. And if you ever come through Grand Rapids, make sure you ask for me, man. I'll put you up somewhere nice and make sure you get treated fairly when you come through the city.
Word. Yeah, I got you, bro. That you're going a mile a minute. All kinds of
Hell
projects,
yeah.
all kinds in the
Yes,
works.
sir.
So
Yeah, man. What'd you say?
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time. All right. We're all good to go. Nah, I'm saying we're good to go. Thank y'all so much. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Yeah, thank y'all so much for being active in the chat. Thank you for asking your questions and all of that shit. Willie the Kid, absolute legend. This is the Real Ones podcast with Ben Moskow. You can hit me up at ben.m on Instagram and at BNMSKW on Twitter for Project FILO, project.philo on Instagram, and at Project FILO on Twitter. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we are going to sign off. Peace.